In this video, you are going to learn about classes in Python. They are just like functions which we covered in the previous video, which offers reusability and modularity of code, but with a twist. In classes, we can utilize the full potential of OOP, that means object-oriented programming. So guys, I am Shubham and I help you become better developer and level up your coding skills on this channel. So subscribe to become a better developer. Now let's say that you want to create banking system where users can come and create their account with the balance. So you don't want to write code for each and every account separately. So that's where functions and classes come into picture. We can write it into function, but that will be not so secure as compared to if we write it into classes. So that is what we are going to try to build today. But before that, we are going to start with writing the basics of class or the basic syntax of class in Python. So let's look at it. So for that, we have a keyword called as class. We are going to write that. Then whatever the name of the class is. So let's say my class name is class name for now. Class name for now. So you can write it like this, or you can put it just like this if you are not receiving any parameters, and this will have a constructor. So basically whenever class is initiated, a default method is called as constructor. So that we have to create, and for that we have to write basically function that is def, and this is a special function since it is a constructor. It is done by to underscore int underscore then open close brackets. In this one, the first parameter will always be self, and then you can receive any number of parameters. So this is the basic syntax of a class, which starts with the keyword class and whatever the class name you want to define. Let's say we want to have human. So okay, so human over here. Then it will have a default constructor. So we will call it as def, and then underscore init, that means init, and underscore, and this will have the first parameter as self. In classes, each and every method or function will have first parameter as self to indicate that it belongs to that particular class. So let's say humans have age, right? A name basically. So whenever a class is called, we will pass the name. So in order to receive that, we will put it over here, and this will be our first attribute, and we will call it as self.name equals to name. So this name is our attribute of the class. Then let's say we wanted age, right? So self.age equal to age, and we will receive it over here, age. So what I have done is I have created a class called as human. Then in this we have defined init method, which has first parameter as self to indicate that it belongs to a class, and then we have name and age as parameters, which will be passed when this class is instantiated. Okay, and over here we use self.name to indicate that we are creating a class variable or class attribute property called as name and age, and that we are assigning with this particular thing. And to call this class, all we have to do is human and open close bracket. In this one, we will have to pass name. As you can see in the hint, name and age is required. So I will pass name as Shubham and age as 27. Okay, so our first instance is created or object is created, and we can assign it to some variable. Okay, so object 1 equal to this. Whenever this is called, right, whenever we instantiate like this, it will call our init method, that is default constructor. Okay, and which receives name and age over here. So that's why we are passing it from here. And let's say that you want to print the name. So we will create another method in this one, and we will call it as print underscore data. Okay, and open close bracket. This will also receive our first parameter as self, and then we don't want to pass anything, right? So that's why we are not passing anything, and over here we will print it. So print, I will use f string, and I will say name is self.name. Since I have defined it as self.name, that means class variable or class attribute, I can access it in any of the methods that we create inside this class. So that's why I am able to print this name over here, access this name by using self.name. And the age is self.age. Okay. Now what if we want to call this method? So in order to call the method, all we have to say is object1 dot print data and open close bracket. Since we don't have to pass anything over here, we are not passing anything from here. We are just saying object1 dot print. But you might be asking me, what will happen to the self? Because it is a class method, so we don't have to pass anything. Let's save this and run it. Okay. So Python 3 and class is .py. And as you can see, it says name is Shubham and the age is 27. So this is how we are able to create a very simple class in Python. And you can see how simple it is. Now let's look at some of the benefits of using classes. I call it as PIEM. That means polymorphism, inheritance, encapsulation, and modularity. Polymorphism means different objects can share the same interface or method names over here, thus allowing us with flexibility and reusability. Inheritance. We can write this human class and we can inherit into another class, and we will have access to all the methods defined in the human class also. So this is inheritance, what we can do. Then comes encapsulation, where we can club the different types of data and different functionality together, and promoting data hiding and abstraction. Then comes modularity. Of course, we can break down the huge code base into classes and then reuse it at multiple places. So now let's create a banking system where user has their own account and have initial balance as 0 and can deposit balance into it and also remove balance from that. Our class will be called as, it is small class bank account. We can do it like this also. So for this one, let's use that. Actually, let's remove this. I like it in a simpler way. Then of course we will have our init dunder init method, or also called as our constructor. Since it is a banking system, so we will require account number. So I will say account number over here and balance, initial balance. Initial balance by default we can put it as 0, and then whatever user passes, it will be that balance. Now let's say that self dot account number is equal to the user passed account number, and then self dot balance is equal to user passed balance. So our account has been created. Now let's do a deposit method. So I will say def deposit. It will take in self and amount. What is the amount deposited by the user? So I will call it as self dot balance, and we can do like self dot balance plus amount like this, but we can use a shortcut. So I'm going to use shortcut over here, plus equal to this amount. And then finally we will write a function or write a method to withdraw amount. So withdraw. So while withdrawing, of course, we need to check for, first of all, whether user's account balance is greater than that or not. Then only allow withdrawal. So let's do that. Only if self dot balance means account balance is greater than equal to the user passed amount, then only let's subtract it. Okay. So self dot balance minus equal to amount, else let's throw error, or let's print error over here. Okay, insufficient amount, insufficient balance. Okay, our class is ready. So all we have done is created a class called as class bank account. Then we have dunder init, which takes in self, account number, and balance. By default is 0. Then we assign it to attributes, class attributes, bank account and balance, user passed data. Then we have another method which will help us in depositing the balance, which only receives amount, and we add it to the self.balance. So it will be added to user's account. Then while withdrawing the amount, we check whether the balance is greater than the amount passed by the user or not, or at least equal to that, and then we subtract it, else we print insufficient balance. Now in order to create an account, let's do that. I'll say account 1. Okay, account 1 equal to bank account, and as you can see it is asking me for number and balance. I will say 1,0. No, let's pass in some amount. Okay, 1000. Actually, let's say 1 2 3 4 5. This is my account number, and 1000 rupees is what I have deposited at the start. So now if we want to withdraw amount, account 1 dot withdraw, let's say we want to withdraw how many? 500 rupees. Okay, and again I try to withdraw one more time. Withdraw, let's say this time 1000 rupees, because I want to see if that else condition is working or not, and then I will deposit. Okay, so deposit let's say 500. Save this. Let me bring it up and run the class. As you can see, it printed only this, because this is the only place where we have put the print statement. So let's put a print over here also. Actually you can print data outside, so you know what, let's create one more method. This is interesting. So check balance. Okay, so def check balance. You could have written print in each and every method, but then that does not make sense. So that's why we are like writing another method called as check balance that will receive only self, and here we will print your account balance is self dot balance. Okay, and of course we need f string over here. After depositing, let's call that, so account 1 dot check balance, open close bracket of course, then after withdrawal let's call it again, then after withdrawal again, and finally after deposit. So let's save this. Let me clear this once and run this. As you can see, after account opening, your account balance is 1000, because after account opening I doing it over here. Then your account balance is 500, because I withdrew 500 rupees from here. So at this point it gave me 500. Then when I tried to withdraw 1000 rupees from 500, it said insufficient balance, and again I checked for balance. So that time it is 500 rupees, and over here then I deposit 500 and check balance again. So over here it will be 1000. And you know what, one more thing that we can do is, whenever he has insufficient balance, right, we can call the check balance method from here itself. So self dot check balance, and this is how we call another method from another method. Okay, and we can comment this out. See, there won't be any difference over here, but all I wanted to show you is how we can call a method from another method. So as you can see, it is printing this. Now let's say another person comes. Now if he has to create account, how will he do it? Let me show you. So I will say account 2, and we will call bank account, and this guy's account is like 54321, and let's check for account 2 dot check balance. Actually, you know what, let's deposit some cash in his account. So deposit how many, what is the time, 1846. Deposit this much of cash. So as you can see, so here we are not clearly able to differentiate whether it is account 1 or account 2. So let's put over here your account self dot account number balance is this much. So all I have done is added account number in the check balance method, and like brought it, formatted it. So let's clear and rerun, and as you can see, your account number 12345 is this much, and then our account number 54321, which is over here, is this much. This is the balance. So it is this easy to create a class in Python. But you know what, there's so much more to classes than this. This is like 10% of the class what you have touched. So why don't you subscribe to my channel to learn more about classes and Python, and also check this video out.